Basketball. All on 2K. Now let's take a look at the Rockets' opening lineup. They've got Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun out there with Tari Eason. Then it's Dylan Brooks, and it's Thompson in at the 2. And for the Timberwolves, Ed is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert, and it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. A battle of the big men. Grab some popcorn for this face-off at the center position tonight, Grant.
Oh, no question, B.A. I mean, these bigs bring the size and skill. Who has more tools in their toolkit? I mean, we're about to find out.
And Houston has possession. Following the score by Minnesota. Sengun, a screen on McDaniels. Here's Green to the right side. Sengun passes to Brooks. And there's the drive. Back to Sengun. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. And there's the call on Jalen Green. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
DiVincenzo against Green from downtown. Here's Gobert. Goes up with it again. Goes up again, and it's good on the lay-in.
Gobert has a thin frame, but make no mistake, he is physical and he relishes contact.
There aren't many more dominant defenders in the NBA than Gobert.
Well, that's definitely fair to say, B.A., because his defense has an outsized influence on a game. The inside presence changes an opponent's game plan.
Hey, when he's hitting that shot, it really helps the spacing for this team.
And what happens is the court just opens up. You like seeing him get into a rhythm from outside the arc. Love it.
Sengun passes to Green. Back to Sengun. Edwards against Brooks. Clock at 6. Thompson scanning the floor. And Houston, another 3.
And this is big for Thompson's confidence. He needs to keep hitting from downtown.
For Minnesota, they've gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. Now here's DiVincenzo. And there's the call on Ben Thompson. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
And so it's Minnesota with it, trailing by 2. And that'll be Minnesota's ball as it goes out of bounds. Timberwolves able to keep the possession.
Great read to get a hand in there and disrupt the play.
And offensively, a little bit of a careless toss. You could have used a better angle on that pass.
Now here's Edwards, 6 to shoot. It's rebounded by Sengun.
Oh, an easy look, but he decides to be a crowd pleaser. I'm sure he's upset for attempting that one.
Brooks, the pass to Green. Back to Brooks. And here's Eason. Pass to Thompson. Sengun, the screen. Late clock, Houston's got to hurry. Off target with the 3. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first.
Well, Anthony Edwards plays with joy, and you love to see him get his teammates involved. Pretty pass.
And so it's Green who brings up the ball for the Rockets. And Grant, you look at the Rockets' additions over the last year or 2. There's an emphasis on toughness.
Yeah, toughness, both physical and mental. Those are the kinds of veterans they've brought in. And that extends, of course, to the coaching staff, too.
McDaniels passes to Randle. 4-3. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Yeah, a shot that Randall has added to his repertoire. Shooting the three with confidence now.
Şengün, a screen on Edwards. Thompson to the wing on the left. Şengün passes to Brooks. Second shot opportunity. Back to Şengün, and stolen by Gobert. DiVincenzo on the wing. Brooks defending. Stolen by Thompson. And here we go, the Rockets in transition. And the slam dunk by Thompson.
And man, does Thompson glide down the court with ease. Outstanding at finishing in transition.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with head coach Chris Finch. We talked about how Alperen Şengün can act as a facilitator. Coach said he sees the floor like nobody else. He's got a great mind for the game, and if you let him find his guy out of the high post, he will punish you. No doubt about it, they're aware. He is the engine of this offense.
Thank you for that, Allie. Here's Şengün. Following the score by Minnesota. Şengün, a screen on McDaniels. And the officials will call the illegal screen here.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Here's Gobert. Uses the glass on the layup.
We always know this has been a strength of Rudy Gobert, getting the offensive window. Nicely done.
Şengün, a screen on McDaniels. And it's Green off the drive. And the layup is good off the glass.
Terrific design and execution, leading to an opportunity right at the rim.
Here's DiVincenzo. Throws it down. And the official calls a foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to go on Jalen Green. Minnesota shooting their first free throw of the game here. DiVincenzo, no good on the free throw. Outside, Green. Şengün, a screen on DiVincenzo. 1 second left. No good. Misses at the buzzer. And so the first quarter is in the books. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Well, their hands resulting in plenty of steals in the early going, keeping the opposition there off balance.
And they've also done a really good job taking advantage of miscues. Their defense has been stifling in this one.
And is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1 spot. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Now here's Thompson. Back to Eason. 5 on the clock. From deep three-point land. An absolute bomb from three-point range. Eason's gotten himself on the board with a 3 there. To the inside. Şengün with a steal. The 3 from Thompson. Offensive rebound. Green, the pass to Thompson. Tries again. And it's good on the layup. Thompson's got 7.
You know, inside is where Thompson excels, and the concentration allowing him to finish there.
Edwards with it, working on Thompson, and the basket by Edwards.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
And Doris, you watch Anthony Edwards year to year. He just keeps reaching a new level.
He wants greatness badly. He's putting in the time, BA, to get there. Anthony Edwards, the shooting, the confidence, the leadership, everything's growing. He's now producing like an MVP. Look out, everybody. Here he comes.
Now here's Edwards. Three-pointer. Oh, Anthony Edwards, a rainmaker.
What a response from Anthony Edwards. If you make a 3, he wants to come right back at you.
Here's Thompson. Pass to Şengün. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Şengün.
That's a perfect example of why good hands are important in basketball. It just misread that pass completely.
For 3, DiVincenzo. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Thompson outside. Here's Şengün. Kept alive by Houston. Eason, pass to Brooks. And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
I have to admit, I mean, it's always a tough decision for the ref on the block charge call.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Thompson passes to Şengün. Sends it home from three-point land. He's got 6.
Nice find by Thompson. Now, good to see him sharing the ball like this.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Brian, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 since the beginning of the second.
How about Gobert with the find? On time and on target. Nicely done, Rudy.
Rockets trail by 3. Şengün, a screen on McDaniels. Pass to Şengün. Fires for 3. Şengün can't get that one to fall. Minnesota has gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. And it really feels like the chemistry of this Timberwolves team has taken a step forward.
And BA, you know this. Winning always enhances that energy and chemistry. But beyond that, this is a roster full of players that have had individual success, and now they're hungry and thirsty for team success, because that's the true measure.
Well, we know Edwards has an impressive skill set, but what really separates him is the competitive edge that he plays with.
Green against McDaniels. Green, the pass to Şengün. Pure from three-point range. Şengün's got 6 points in the quarter.
And that's just an all-around talent there. I mean, Green is dependable at finding his open teammates.
Here's DiVincenzo. And the bucket counts. And he is on his way to the line. He'll try to make, and here comes the coach's challenge. He disagrees with the foul. He does not hesitate to ask for a second look. It's a pretty heated game. Every call matters.
At the line for Minnesota, DiVincenzo. One shot.
Ball still disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look, so the officials can be sure they get it right. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
Pass to Şengün to the left side wing. Edwards against Thompson. Shot clock at 6. Now here's Şengün. Now Green. Puts it up. That one's wide left.
And that closeout certainly made a difference.
Well, no question. He altered that shot, and most of the time, that's just as good as blocking it.
Woo! His energy is unmatched.
The finish and transition, nice and easy.
And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, BA. Not sure what got into him. You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Now here's Green. Eason, a screen on McDaniels. Here's Green. Out to the right wing. Eason, pass to Green. Randall with a steal. For 3, DiVincenzo. Oh, no good on the last second attempt there. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 6-point lead at the close of the quarter. Just pounding the painted area. That's helped them build an advantage. We'll be right back with you shortly. Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. Well, you got to like what we're seeing from Amin Thompson.
They've leaned on him to provide a lot of offense, and that's how he likes it.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
So the Houston 5 right now. They've got Jock Landale, Green out there with Smith. Then there's Whitmore, and it's Tate in at point guard. Landale with a screen. Smith passes to Landale. Smith right side. 3 on the clock. Back to Landale. And that one is hammered home.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
Well, Grant, after 3 straight drafts high in the lottery, the Rockets got to 500 in 2024.
Yeah, and I love how they signed some vets in the summer of 23. Houston decided we want to win now, and I wish more teams did that.
Here's Landale. Minnesota with a rebound.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
I'd say you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
The defense couldn't collapse quickly enough.
Here's Shannon. Count that one. Shannon's got his first points in this one.
Good job attacking. Those restricted area shots are what every NBA team is looking for.
Outside Tate. Pass to Landale. Landale with a screen. All alone. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Now here's Alexander Walker. High post read. Lots of room. And Minnesota again with a bucket.
He's a go-to guy for them because he's that consistent. Time and time again, he delivers.
Well, we're into the third quarter. Just over 2.5 minutes played. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Minot. Gets the 3 to fall. And now it's an 11-point Minnesota lead.
And guys, this is why coaches value playing with pace.
I think this is what we call, quote, running a team off the floor. They have been fantastic in transition.
Now here's Tate. Oh, got a piece of it. 1:51 left in the third. Inside, here's Minot. And he goes in for the dunk.
Adding insult to injury with the dunk off the steal.
Nice to see a good play on D. That led to some fireworks.
Let's see if that serves as a momentum builder. What a great sequence for this group.
Smith, will it go? Back to Whitmore. Landale with a screen. Reed with the rebound.
And that's where you want to make the next pass. This guy is a good scorer, but the defense was right on him.
And Naz Reid has proven to be a matchup nightmare for opposing big men doors.
He has, BA, and the reason is he's bigger and stronger than most 4 men. Traditional 5s are too slow to stay with him. He can space you out to the three-point line, or he can punish you on the inside. Naz has got big-time game.
Now here's Whitmore. He's scoreless. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
Listen, he hits that shot on a regular basis. Give credit to the offense for getting him a clean look.
Here's Alexander Walker. Outside Reed. Let's go with a 3. It's hauled in by Houston. Smith outside. Pass to Tate. And here's Whitmore. To the middle. Here's the teardrop. Landale misses. Minnesota leading by 11. Up top, Alexander Walker. Whitmore defending. On the wing, Alexander Walker. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
and adds a few more points to their lead, showing off some style.
Wow, that was prime time stuff right there. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in a good situation, up. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
Oh, wow. And I'll tell you what, I mean, he is a creative, explosive finisher at the rim. Green loves putting on a show.
DiVincenzo against Green. Down low. Here's Gobert. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
Have to love the ball distribution. Keep everyone involved.
Şengün, a screen on McDaniels. Green with the ball. Now guarded by McDaniels. Out to Thompson. Şengün, the screen. Out left to the wing. Back to Thompson. Fires from the corner. Rebound Minnesota. Gobert's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. NBA scoring has been climbing over the past decades, Graham. Is the league too offensive at the moment, you think?
Well, we know that people like scoring, the fans, players, everyone, but the league needs to make sure there aren't hamstringing defenders too much. So I think allowing some more physicality incentivizes the defender to defend, and now we have competition on both sides of the ball.
Boy, with the kind of motor Edwards plays with, doesn't give the defense much of a chance to catch him in transition. Nicely done, Anthony.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. That one drops for him. And the Timberwolves lead by 17. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for the Timberwolves?
You have to be a fan of the energy they've played with on the defensive end. Active hands and feet, and it's come up big a few times for them.
And their fast break has also been a key metric in this one. They have had a significant advantage in transition over the course of this game.
And they're really rolling right now. That lead keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
That's unreal. I mean, Thompson, that boy's going to hit his head on the rim one day. Oh.
DiVincenzo with it, and it's Şengün picking him up. McDaniels against Brooks. McDaniels inside. Out to DiVincenzo. Takes a 3. It's rebounded by Şengün. Şengün's got 5 rebounds in the game. Here's Eason. It's Eason with the jam.
That's about reading the floor. Hits his man right where he wanted it.
DiVincenzo against Green. Looking to get back on track. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Wow. Always fun to see point guards who can elevate above the rim like that.
Oh, a strong mindset and even stronger finish.
Boy, it's incredible how much explosive scoring ability can come from the lead guard position. That is a big-time play.
DiVincenzo with it, and it's Şengün picking him up. Here's Eason. Oh, had the opportunity on the break, but couldn't make the 3. And there's the call on Jalen Green. That's his 3rd foul so far. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for DiVincenzo. And a change for the Rockets. Whitmore's checked in. Alexander Walker, the pass to Randall, hits a 3-pointer. And the Timberwolves lead by 21.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Timberwolves.
Simply taking better care of the ball may have made all the difference.
Yeah, and then on the defensive end, they kept the pressure on and forced a number of miscues.
And when you look at the game, the one thing that helped fuel this team to victory was the efficiency for... Whoa!
Oh, Anthony Edwards thinks this game is a dunk contest. Go ahead, young sir. What a finish.
They need this. Here's Whitmore. Pass to Şengün. Back to Whitmore. Dunk to finish it off. A beauty. There's 48 seconds left in the final quarter.
Yeah, I think he's letting his emotions get the better of him on that foul.
Well, Doris, we've heard Anthony Edwards declare himself as the best player in the league.
Well, BA, when you got the game to back it up, you don't mind putting yourself out there. And Anthony Edwards has charisma, highly skilled, and he's fearless when it matters most. Look out for the Ant-Man.
McDaniels against Thompson. Pass to Şengün. Back to Thompson. Out to the wing. 6 on the shot clock. That's good from Eason. On the assist by Şengün. 23 seconds left in the game. They can simply hold on to the ball here.
No question, BA. They deserve the win.
Edwards gets the bucket.
Finishing the game strong. This is how you shut the door on any hopes of a comeback.
No question. They've got hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level.
He just rises up and throws it down hard with one hand.
That is such a go-to move for him. He holds nothing back on those. So we see the Timberwolves taking the W here. Well, this might not have been the most competitive game we've ever seen, but
but eventually I'll get there.
I'm a tiger on the loose, I'm a menace in the booth, I'm the medicine you're afraid to take. I'm the gasoline and nut and the devil in your gut that you're fighting just to keep it fake. Kinda like the view with the dice and me and top down with the rims and gold. So baby, pour me a drink, I'm gonna let out the freak beat back in the beer. Let him run, let him eat, stone cold killer. Let off the beat. Let him bang on the streets like Godzilla. Let him eat, stone cold killer. Let off the beat. Let him bang on the streets like Godzilla.
Defense looking for answers.
Kind of a lopsided matchup tonight in some regards, but everyone loves an underdog.
Yeah, let's not forget, this is the NBA. Anything can happen, and even lower-ranked teams are elite. We could still have a real contest on our hands tonight.
Look at the opening lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies. Morant is the point, with Bane out on the wing. Jackson is out there with Edey. And it's Jackson in at the small forward position.
And if they know what's good for them, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball in the three-point lane.
At the top of the key, Gobert. Randall finds Gobert. A three. And there's Randall on the assist by Gobert.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Here's Morant.
Nice finish. He'll put you on your heels in a hurry. Morant slicing through the D.
Edwards with the screen for DiVincenzo. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor. Not even close to being a legal screen.
That's a very avoidable turnover. You gotta focus on the details.
And you look at the Grizzlies' defense the last few years, RJ extremely disruptive.
Yeah, they've been top of the league in steals and blocks. That's just a part of the DNA in Memphis. It can be exhausting playing against guys like this. And this is part of Morant's role. As a guard, he's responsible for finding the open man.
Here's DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. Down low, stolen by Jackson. To the inside. There's the three. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
The team-first mindset of Jackson, willing to get the ball to his open guys.
They're having trouble stopping this run.
And the more trips they continue to come up empty, the more the pressure builds on them.
Now here's Edwards. Off target from three-point range. It's stolen by Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
Oh, my. What a huge flush by Edwards, showing off right now.
Here's Morant. To the wing on the left. From deep. Frames the three-pointer. Edey's got 9 points.
Man, he is feeling it from three-point range. All of a sudden, he just can't miss.
Outside Edwards. Going inside. Gobert in the corner. DiVincenzo against Bane. Fires for three. Edey with the rebound. And the Grizzlies leading by 6. Fires the three. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And they blow the whistle for a foul. He was trying to disrupt the fast break opportunity. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Well, so far, their long-range shooting has been the story, doing damage from deep.
And something else that's working for them is ball movement. A lot of their points so far have come as a result of smart plays.
Now here's Morant. Driving inside. Outside, Bane. Three-pointer. And another miss by Memphis.
And sometimes on defense, you can just get lucky.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. Well, of course, they're concerned about the dynamic Ja Morant. Coach told me the plan is simple. Make things as hard as they can on Ja on both ends of the floor. Make him work on defense, and by crunch time, maybe we can tire him just a little bit. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. And Richard, when it comes to Jaren Jackson, there's a lot to appreciate. My goodness.
Oh, I love that he can guard 1 through 5. Really a modern defensive NBA big man. He can go back to the basket or he can face up. He doesn't need the ball to make a huge impact.
Now here's Gobert. Scoreless thus far.
You often expect him to convert these types of shots, but the D must have made their presence felt to prevent that one.
Pass to Edey. It's stolen by Gobert. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's McDaniels. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. McDaniels against Morant. Payne with a screen on McDaniels. Morant outside. 5 to shoot. And finished off by Morant.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Couldn't come up with a much better start than this. They just have to keep it going.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants to talk to his guys. Timberwolves trail by 11. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. McDaniels sets a screen for Edwards. Shot to stop the run. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
And he's got more than a few ways to beat you. Edwards will be aggressive when he has to initiate contact and create the and-one opportunity.
Morant against McDaniel. Pass to Edey. But Trey, he can't get that one to fall. And so it's Memphis in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Back. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And for Memphis, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
It's been a group effort, and that's what it takes to play the kind of defense that they've played. Great showing from them.
Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. Jackson, that's a 2-pointer. Rebound, Minnesota. Gobert's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Randall finds Edwards. At the elbow, it's Gobert. Gobert with a screen on Jackson. He had a nice open look right there. Randall's got 6.
Yeah, an underrated ball handler. Randall can beat you off the dribble. He keeps pressure on the defense.
Morant looking around. Outside for Jackson. Minnesota with the rebound.
No clue how he misfired on that shot. You don't see that from him very often.
Edwards with it. He's picked up by Morant. Edwards inside. Jackson on him. That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Edwards. Grizzly shooting for the game at 42%. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them, but not last year as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you gotta look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. McDaniels finds Edwards. Takes the 3. Edwards with another miss.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Jackson dishes to Morant. Back to Jackson. got a piece of it, and stolen by DiVincenzo. Edwards inside, guarded by Bain. And the rebound by Jaren Jackson. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Memphis. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. There's 1:38 left in the first half. 6 to shoot. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. The 3-ball. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got 6 rebounds now in the game. McDaniels passes to DiVincenzo. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
That's just smart basketball right there, finding a way to get a high percentage shot on offense.
Bain against Edwards. Jackson a screen on Edwards. Bain for 3. No good there. Great tee that time from Edwards. Timberwolves trail by 3. Now here's DiVincenzo. And the layup falls. DiVincenzo's got 4 points this quarter.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Morant outside. Driving the lane. And then jammed down as it goes right over Anthony Edwards.
Oh, wow. Okay, jaw turning it loose. Someone throw that man some water.
The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. Zach Edey picks one up.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Morant against McDaniel. Outside for Jackson. Pass to Edey. He got it up. No good on the last second attempt there. Tie game in Minnesota. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. And the league giving a bit more leeway, GA, to defenders. As a hard-nosed defender yourself, I'm sure you like that change.
Oh, I do. I mean, we all love the intensity of playoff basketball. So why not bring a certain level of physicality to the regular season?
So on the floor for Memphis, they've got Kennard. Clark is out there with Williams. Then there's Wells. And it's Huff in at the 5 spot.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
Now, here's Kennard. Defense is right there. Takes a 3. Good on the triple. Kennard's got it all tied up now for the Grizzlies.
You can't lose a shooter like him on the court. The ball will find its way to him, and he will drill a 3 each time.
Shannon. It's hauled in by Huff. The Grizzlies shooting well. They're at 45%. Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Minot, and he slams it one-handed.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. The kick out to Williams. Now, here's Kennard, defended by Alexander Walker. And that's with Luke Kennard for 3. Kennard's got a pair of threes now here in the third for Memphis. Here's Shannon. Kennard covering.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Well, he makes the basics look pretty exceptional. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. They set the pick. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
My goodness, I didn't think they could top that last dunk, but it only took them a couple seconds.
Not much defense, Greg, on those last few possessions, but does anyone mind?
Not
at
all.
After earning the number 2 seed in the 2023 playoffs, Richard, last season was a lost year because of all those injuries and other things in Memphis.
John Morant only played 9 games last year. Desmond Bain missed half the year. Marcus Smart out. The Grizzlies still have a lot of young talent and a very bright future.
The Timberwolves have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. Good on both. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Memphis has gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Huff, and it's Memphis with another.
Nice ball movement there. Delivered the pass right on time.
The Timberwolves trail. There's 1:38 left in the third. Pass to Reed. And Reed throws it down.
And although he's undersized at his position, his vertical, yeah, that'll clean up a few mistakes.
Driving to the basket. Kennard. The kick out to Williams. Up and in on the layup.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Inside, here's Clark, and he gets it to go. And it's a 4-point Grizzly lead. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Memphis.
They've been defending with excellent anticipation all game long. Just look at how many times they've managed to get their hands on the ball.
And you also have to applaud how they've been able to create turnovers and then convert those on the offensive end.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Here's Shannon. Kennard covering. Shots good by Shannon.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Huff. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Huff's got 5 now.
This is that modern big man play. Tall guys who are comfortable draining shots from deep.
Here's Shannon. Back to Reed. From the arc. Buries the long-range jumper. 5 points in the game.
For real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Grizzlies out in front, up by 4. Three-tenths quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. And so it's Memphis with it. They've led by as many as 11 points. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Randall out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. McDaniels a screen on Morant. Edwards kicks to McDaniels. Pass to DiVincenzo. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture.
In the corner, it's Payne. Out to the right wing. Outside for Jackson. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. McDaniels finds DiVincenzo. Jackson against McDaniel. Edey with the rebound. Edey's got 5 rebounds tonight. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. And the dunk by Jackson.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
Yeah, you like the pick to set up the open shot. But when it leads to a dunk, okay, even better. You'll take it.
Randall against Jackson. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
And his team needs every bit of his production if they want to pull this one out. It is neck and neck here in the final period.
Back to Morant. It's stolen by Edwards. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And it's all evened up.
And showing he can make plays for others. Edwards moving it with conviction.
The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Here's the screen. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. That's on. And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this.
Taking 2 shots.
Difficult calls to make. Personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Here's Alexander Walker, guarded by Bain. And he comes up with the deuce. Alexander Walker's got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Morant against McDaniel. Pass to Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
The dime courtesy of Morant. I'd love to play with John. He's always looking to move that ball.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Now defended by Dave. Nice move. Edwards making a statement.
Such a gutsy player. Edwards wants to be the guy taking big shots.
1:43 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Morant. And Morant throws it down.
Get this man the ball, and he will make something happen. Morant rises to the occasion. Man.
Here's Alexander Walker, guarded by Bain. The shot's good from Alexander Walker.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Yeah, it's clear why they go to him in these moments. They know he's going to deliver for it.
Morant against McDaniel. Morant passes to Jackson. Shot clock at 6. Here's Edey. They get the rebound. Outside Jackson. Bain sets the screen for Jackson. Launches it. Oh, drew the foul. Almost hit the three-point. The coach's challenge has been issued. First team like this, out of the wire, this is what it's for.
And this is the time now. The original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in air. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Nas Reed, he's checked in for Gobert. Edwards kicks to McDaniel. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And it's Memphis on the break. Here's Jackson. It drops.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
What a huge play coming through when it matters most.
Here's McDaniels.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
First team foul. At the line for two, Jaden.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that narrows the gap to 1. 19 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And they commit an intentional foul. See another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
And that's an intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
Those were pressure-packed free throws, and he looked as cool as he could be. So big to give them that 3-point lead.
Out to Edwards. Reed with a screen on Bain. Edwards passes to Reed. For the tie. Oh, he couldn't make that shot go to force overtime. So a close game sees Memphis take this one. This win, such a trouble.
Brian Anderson. The starters for the Memphis Grizzlies. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Moran and Payne. Jaren Jackson out there with Jackson, and it's Edey in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Houston, we've got Alperen Şengün, Thompson out there with Jalen Green. Then it's Tari Eason, and it's Brooks in at the 3, the small forward. Well, Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, B.A. And I get the sense that bragging rights are on the line here. Everything you can do, I can do better. Expect some exciting back-and-forth action in this one.
Now, here's Green. Pass to Şengün. Thompson with it. Off with the layup.
Well, you got to miss sometimes, but that one seemed like a gimme.
And the dunk by Jackson.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
A bit ago, Ime Udoka and I were able to chat. They were concerned with Jaren Jackson Jr. on both ends of the floor. Coach saying defensively, Triple J covers so much space, a blocking machine. And on the other side of the ball, Jaren has serious skill for a man of his size. He's a tough game plan for us. Jaren Jackson Jr., a two-way menace. Brian?
Thanks for that, Allie.
And that's Morant for you. Not settling. When he sees the opening, he goes for it.
Recently, player health has been the big talking point around the Memphis Grizzlies stand.
Yeah, B.A., look, and it's really a shame to have such a talented, dynamic team have to deal with all those constant what-ifs and have their seasons so affected by things outside of their control. It's tough.
And the bounce that Morant possesses is unlike anyone else at his position.
For Houston, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor. And it's Green off the drive. Over to the wing. Payne against Thompson. Eason a screen on Payne. The 3 from Thompson. And Houston another 3.
And this is big for Thompson's confidence. He needs to keep hitting from downtown.
Morant surveying the floor. Brooks with the rebound. The Rockets have gone 3 of 4. Off to a nice start. Thompson in the post. Jackson on him. Here's Edey, up and over Brooks, and count it. The shot is good, and he'll go to the line.
Strong anticipation from Jackson on the dish. Coaches love to see that out of their big men.
Memphis shooting their first free throw this game. Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Green against Morant, over to the left wing. Eason, the pass to Green. Back to Eason. 5 to shoot. Thompson against Payne. And it's going to be a 24-second violation. They turn it over.
Shot clock violation. Grizzlies ball.
Grizzlies lead by 4. Outside Morant. Jackson on the wing. Morant with a screen on Eason. Jackson, the pass to Morant. Takes the 3. It's rebounded by Şengün. And so it's Green who brings up the ball for Houston. Well, Coach, one of the more electric players in the NBA, Ja Morant.
Yeah, that's for sure, Brian. High-flying, acrobatic at the rim, just a supreme athlete, and he is without a doubt one of the most exciting players this league has to offer.
And Houston has possession. After the basket by Memphis on the other end. No, stopping him there. Jams it in, and he's fouled. An opportunity at a three-point play. Ja Morant picks one up. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Memphis.
Well, they've set the tone early with their pace. So important to capitalize on transition opportunities, and it keeps the defense off balance.
Yeah, on top of that, they've been resourceful defensively, generating scoring opportunities by forcing turnovers.
See, now that layup isn't possible without the help of the pep.
Green against Morant. These are his first free throws of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
That free throw good from Şengün. Both free throws good from Şengün. Memphis leading by 3. Outside Morant. .32 seconds left in the opening quarter. Outside Bane. Connects from downtown. Bane's got 5 now.
The way Morant sets up his teammates is as good as any guard in this league.
Şengün, a screen on Morant. Green, the pass to Brooks. The Rockets again can't hit. Bane surveying the D. Here's Jackson, and the dunk by Jackson.
And taking a look at this first half, they've just shown better shot selection.
Yeah, they've done a better job executing offensively, moving the ball and creating high percentage looks.
The scoring is fast and furious as we end the first. Memphis ahead, they lead by 8. And back to the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. And looking at what we've seen from the Grizzlies, what do you think, guys?
Oh, what I love was that first quarter was all about leaking out and capitalizing in transition.
Yeah, they gave the other team no time to breathe. Every time they got the ball, they were off to the races. And you see how effective this aggressive mindset can be.
Tari Eason is out there with Dylan Brooks. Then it's Thompson, then it's Green, and it's Şengün in at the center position. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian, the Rockets showing improvement. Head coach Ime Udoka said, quote, when you rely on your young guys, you're constantly trying to instill habits that'll carry them for the rest of their careers. It's mistakes and tendencies you have to try to break continually. Just staying positive. You see glimpses of how close we can be.
All right, Allie, thanks for that. Pass to Şengün. The shake. And the layup is good. Şengün's gotten 4 this quarter.
Hey, if you give him room, he's gonna score the ball.
Thompson against Morant. Boom! Ja Morant!
Oh, the vertical of Morant is simply incredible. I mean, he's fantastic at using it to his advantage on the inside.
You know, Coach, when you watch Ja Morant play, it's hard to think of anyone else as explosive as he is.
Yeah, Brian, he can make a defender look like he's standing still. The burst that Morant has with his first step is unrivaled. Probably the best burst in the entire league.
Truly is a human highlight reel in this modern day. Three-pointer, Brooks. Memphis with a rebound. Here's Edey. Left side, Morant. Jackson with a screen on Brooks. Morant using his speed. And then Morant with the dunk.
Yeah, an electric player. Morant just bouncing off the contact and finishing on the drive.
Here's Thompson to the left wing. Şengün with it. Jackson in his pocket. Jacks up with 3. That's good from Eason. On the assist by Şengün. Eason's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Grizzlies lead by 7. Outside Morant. Jackson with a screen on Thompson. Thompson against Morant. On the take, and he goes with the big dunk right over Alperen Şengün.
Oh, putting on a show for the fans. Morant's skills making it look like a circus in here.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
There's a minute 59 left in the second period. Pass to Şengün. The three ball. The rebound by Jackson.
Well, this was his shot to miss, honestly. Poor coverage, good setup. He just couldn't knock it down.
Well, Grant, we know non-shooting big men can clog the paint, but if they know where to move off the ball, that certainly helps.
Yeah, you know, big men who know those circle actions, like flashing to the open spot when their man gives help, they often end up with easy looks inside.
Thompson against Bane. Thompson scanning the floor. No good on the three. Memphis leading by 11. Jackson with it. Check by Brooks. Green against Morant. Pass to Edey. Banked it in off the glass. Edey's got 5 points.
Like a matador. Olay! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Outside, Green. Green going at the D, and it's hammered home by Green.
Oh, talk about a quick first step. Green just blows past defenders.
Here's Morant. Ooh, Thompson with the block. 3 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Beyond the arc. Nice. Gets his second bucket. He's 2 for 4 now.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
The three from Bane. The shot that time not on target. Ja Morant, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Grizzlies. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. And don't go far. We'll be right back.
And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Runs. They're measuring up the shot.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far. We're halfway through the game. Oh, a fantastic game from Ja Morant in this one.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
On the court right now for the Grizzlies, we've got Luke Kennard. Williams is out there with Brandon Clark. And it's Wells in at the 2. Here's Landale. He drops it from range. Landale's got his first 3 points of the game. Memphis leading by 5. Kennard outside. Pass to Huff. Oh, they get a hand on it. Back comes Houston in transition. The 3, Smith. And that comes off the assist by Green.
This is Smith's game. Set him up, and he'll knock him down.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Brian, Jabari Smith Jr. is making some serious strides, and Coach Ime Udoka praised him and said his all-around game is confidence, great defensive versatility. He's starting to handle and make plays for others. Shooting is a huge asset for him, but we want him to post up and find his mid-range shots as well, where he can rise up over guys. Brian?
He is certainly one to watch, Allie. Thank you. Right side, Whitmore. Boom! He jams it straight down.
An impressive athlete. This rookie Whitmore loves getting inside and hammering it home.
Kennard into the lane. Ooh, and they immediately answer back with a dunk on the other end.
His hang time on the rim puts a sweet cherry on top, BA.
It's a close game, and those displays of explosiveness can jumpstart a team. Here's Landale. From outside, off the mark. Memphis leading by 4. Clark outside. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2.
I don't mind that. I mean, they met him at the rim and temporarily prevented the points.
Memphis shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in this game. He hits the 2nd from the line. And here's Whitmore. Smith outside. Back to Whitmore. Puts up a 3. Clark grabs the board. Well, Memphis shooting 76%. You don't see this often. Here's Williams. And he banks in the layup.
Well, all of us coaches, we love when you can create looks in close.
Tate inside. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Here's Landale, defended by Kennard. And Landale gets it to go.
Assertive move. You can tell the game's heating up a bit.
Kennard outside. 1:51 left to play in the 3rd quarter here. Clark with the screen. Kennard passes to Clark. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Grizzlies lead by 7.
Well, when you move the ball, you open up the defense. Great job to make the unselfish play.
Outside Whitmore. And a big-time jam right there.
Yes, slashing toward the hoop. Whitmore not hesitating when he sees an opportunity.
Kennard passes to Clark. Pass to Huff. From deep 3-point range. Smith with the rebound.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
On the wing, Green. Smith outside. Oh, the dunk by Smith.
Wow. Smith going for a slam. He wants everyone to know that he's arrived.
Kennard outside. Pass to Huff. Kennard outside. Here's Huff. Launches it. And no good. Rockets trail by 3. 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Whitmore. There's 10 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Outside Tate. Late clock. Houston's got to hurry. We're at the end of the 3rd quarter, and we've still got a close one. Memphis ahead. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Yeah, he puts that pass right on the money and made things look easy for his teammates.
We've reached the 4th quarter in what has been a very competitive game. Should be an exciting finish. Amen Thompson out there with Jalen Green. Then there's Alperen Şengün. Then it's Dillon Brooks. And it's Eason in at power forward. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense given the situation.
A line change here for Memphis. Green against Morant. The flush. Jalen Green.
And this guy can just fly. Green lifts off and slams it down.
Here's Jackson. Bain with a screen on Green. Kicks it out to Bain. Fires from deep. And they get it back. Pass to Morant. Jackson with a screen on Thompson. Here's Morant. Shot clock at 6. The Rockets pull it in. And here we go, the Rockets in transition. Thompson, no good. Grizzlies lead by 4. And now the Grizzlies on the run. Here's Jackson. And a great assist by Morant as that one goes. Morant's got 3 assists in the game.
Incredible. I mean, high energy in transition. Just beating the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
Thompson right side. Back to Eason. It's Eason with the jam.
Nice find by Thompson. No, good to see him sharing the ball like this.
We're about 2 minutes into the 4th here. Here's Morant. Oh, Morant from close range.
In crunch time, trying to get the foul, the bucket, or both.
And here's Green from the arc. He buries it from 3.
Yeah, and Green has tons of confidence in his three-point shot, and it was on display right there as he knocked it down.
Thompson against Morant. Jackson with a screen on Thompson. Morant finds Jackson. Misses in close. Rockets trail by 3. Thompson outside. Şengün, a screen on Morant. Outside for Brooks to tie it up. And Houston, another 3.
And this team is counting on Brooks in big-time moments. And guess what? Dillon delivers.
Bain against Brooks. Right wing. Morant against Thompson. Now here's Morant. Not a lot of room. From outside the arc. It's rebounded by Houston. And here we go. The Rockets in transition. And for some reason, he decided to foul there.
Yeah, B.A., that's an odd move. Maybe there's something else behind it.
A minute 29 left in the 4th quarter. Green against Morant to take the lead. Finding some room inside. Green.
And demonstrating how fearless he is, Green welcomes the chance to take important shots.
Morant with it. Checked by Brooks. Morant against Thompson. Bain with a screen on Thompson. Outside Bain. Shot clock at 5. Memphis needs to get off a shot. Jackson for 3. Eason pulls it in. And it's Houston's ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Şengün, the screen. On the wing, Green. Pounded by Morant. Back to Green. Shoots over Morant. Misses the jumper from the wing.
When the defense is playing off you like that, you want to be able to convert. But that time, he just couldn't get it done.
Kept alive. Here's Edey. Kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson, the screen. Jackson, the pass to Morant. To the wing, right side. Edey for 3. And carries it from deep.
Yeah, showing off that ability to stretch the floor. Seems like everyone is a threat at the arc these days.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. How do you think this is going to play out?
Down 1 with just enough time for a couple passes and a shot. We'll see what they can do.
Off the inbound. And so it's the Grizzlies who come out on top here. With the late victory, they upset plenty of these hometown fans.
They really should take this win to heart. When the pressure was on, they stepped.
eventually I'll get there.
I'm a tiger on the loose, I'm a menace in the booth, I'm the medicine you're afraid to take. I'm the gasoline and nut and the devil in your gut that you're fighting just to keep it fake. Kinda like the view with the dice and me, top down with the rims and gold. So baby, pour me a drink, I'm gonna let out the freak beat back in the kiss. Let him run, let him eat, stone cold killer.
Let off the steam.
Let him bang on the streets like Godzilla. Let him eat,
The Minnesota.
The NBA on and checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. And for the Rockets, Jalen Green is out there with Amen Thompson. Then it's Alperen Şengün. Then it's Tari Eason, and it's Brooks in at the 3. We know these teams among the best defensive squads in the NBA. This figures to be a low-scoring affair.
But it should be an entertaining one, Kevin. And if you're a fan of high-intensity, high-energy defense, there's a lot to love about this matchup.
Stolen by Thompson. Outside, Green. Pass to Şengün. They kick it out to Green. Lock at 6. Back to Şengün. Misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor. About a minute played so far here in the first. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
I had a chance to talk with the head coach, Ime Udoka. Now I asked him how you take care of the Stifle Tower himself, Rudy Gobert. Coach said, I think you just try to pester him on defense and stay away from him on offense. If he's anywhere near our shooters, that means it's time to move the ball. So they'll have to play keep away when it comes to Gobert. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David. Now here's Green. Randall dishes to Gobert. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Rockets ball.
Green against McDaniel. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on Jaden McDaniel.
Green, such a hard cover because he's always in attack mode, disruptive to the defense, and makes it hard to guard him.
And both free throws good for Green. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Green against DiVincenzo. Edwards a screen on Green. Here's DiVincenzo. The Rockets pull it in. There's always a surprise, isn't there, Clark, in the offseason? Let's go back to 2022. That offseason, the Timberwolves going all in on Rudy Gobert.
Basically, Kevin, they traded 5 firsts plus a bunch of good players for Gobert. It was derided at the time, and I can understand why, but Rudy's defense has taken them to another level, and he's actually been a little better offensively than people thought he would be. The length of McDaniels, a big factor at both ends.
And finished off by Gobert.
And his eyes got wide once he got the ball inside. You just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Here's Green. That shot, no good. Gobert with the defensive effort. For Minnesota, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far. And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Green. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, and Alperen Şengün gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Randall surveying the D. 6 on the shot clock. It's Edwards on the wing. He's covered by Thompson.
Well, it's Green's effort that makes him effective as a defender in addition to his athleticism, but usually he just simply outworks folks.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
There's 1:59 left in the first quarter. And that one, good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Oh, here's Edwards. Offensive rebound. Gobert uses the glass to finish the layup. Gobert's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Gobert so good around the rim. Had that shot back before the defense could do anything with it.
Şengün with the screen for Green. Pass to Şengün. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
And good to get him going early. That shot should give him some confidence.
Perhaps he's set for a big night. I mean, he can be a difference maker for him when he's on his game.
And it's Houston on the break. And the dunk by Eason.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
Gobert with a screen on Thompson. To the middle. And stolen by Şengün. By himself. And Thompson slams it home.
Rocketing off the deck. Thompson showing that youthful exuberance.
Here's Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
Oh, doctor. Oh, my goodness. Anthony Edwards throwing it down with force. Get this guy in the dunk contest.
Now, here's Green. Drops in the layup for two. Green's got 6 points.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Here's Randall. Nothing on the board. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. DiVincenzo finds Edwards. To the inside. Here's Gobert. Banked in off the glass. 8 points for Rudy Gobert.
What a move by Gobert. Closing that open space in the pick and roll.
Green, the pass to Brooks. Stolen by McDaniels. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. The Rockets on top, leading by 3. And the second. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for Houston?
Right off the bat, they're going after the ball, looking to jump into the passing lanes and create some steals in transition.
One other factor today, points off turnover. I mean, let's see if they can keep up the pressure, capitalize off more forced miscues.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Randall out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point.
Green showing you the poise of a veteran there, staying cool under pressure, ignoring the clock, and giving his shot complete focus there.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Anthony Edwards is figuring things out. He said there's levels. My first 3 years, I looked for my shot and nothing else. I've learned that I can't win without my teammates and that I have to throw them the ball too. It's a team game. I know that now. Kevin, I know it too, so I'm throwing it back to you.
And you're the best teammate we could have. Thank you, David. Pass to Eason. Şengün kicks to Green. Back to Şengün. Şengün with the screen for Green. Just 5 to shoot. And Şengün gets it to go on the assist by Green.
Got a real nice feel for the game. Şengün's quick to make the most of an open look when it avails itself.
McDaniels against Brooks. It's good, and the Rocket lead is cut down to just 6 points and the bucket from McDaniels.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Green drives in. A shot, no good. Gobert with the defensive effort.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
Out to the right wing. McDaniels passes to Edwards. Looking for Gobert. He gets it there. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Houston leading by 6. Green inside the three-point line. Eason down low. He's defended by Randall. Thompson against Edwards. And Thompson kicks to Şengün. Gobert pulls it in. Timberwolves trail by 6. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Back to Edwards, and stolen by Şengün. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets, and the dunk by Eason.
Beautiful setup. You see right there, Alperen Şengün. His game isn't all about power.
Gobert with the screen on Thompson. Edwards dishes to Gobert. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect. And so Green will bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Their defense has only allowed 4 points in the quarter. And rejection by McDaniels. Thompson against Edwards. Edwards getting the close range, too.
A composed and cool effort from Edwards inside, not rushing himself or forcing a bad shot, taking what's available.
Here's Green to the left side wing. Şengün finds Eason. Houston moving the ball around. Here's Green. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Randall. The Rockets pull it in. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Whitmore, he's checked in for Jalen Green. Minnesota also making some changes. Reed, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for Dante DiVincenzo. 6 to shoot. Here's Şengün. They get it back. Pass to Whitmore. Şengün with the screen for Whitmore. Into the lane. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
What a fighter. Whitmore was determined to get that to go.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
And because he struggled with his free throw shooting so much last season, I thought he was hesitant at times to be aggressive. Wasn't looking to draw contact and was trying to avoid getting to the foul line.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Rockets lead by 4. We'll be back shortly live from Houston, Texas.
Timberwolves 18. Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll, please. They're thinking about the
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of the game it's been so far. Rudy Gobert has been sensational.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
And you know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
They've got Tari Eason. Adams is out there with Smith. Then there's Whitmore, and it's Holiday in at the point. And that's the group in there for Ime Udoka as we begin the second half. Here's Shannon. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. Rockets leading by 7. Smith outside. Here's Adams. Second shot opportunity. Reed with the rebound.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Really left alone that time. Shannon's got his first bucket of the night. And you know, Greg, we're seeing so many teams utilizing the dribble handoff.
And it really forces the defense into a bad spot, can create situations where the offense has an advantage, and then it allows you to kind of seek out the matchup.
Reed with a screen on Howard. Here's Shannon. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Oh, that's a major league throwdown.
Keeps a tight grip on that rim, too, after the finish.
Maybe that'll help them recapture their edge a little bit, guys.
And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. Landale's checked in for Steven Adams. Green comes in for Tari Eason. And it's Jayshawn Tate in for Aaron Holiday. Now, here's Tate. He's guarded close. Here's Landale. Here's Green. Good D by Miller.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Defended by Whitmore.
And in terms of size, not your typical center, but man, he plays as big as any of them thanks to that terrific leaping ability.
And Clark, here's a great guy to have in the rotation. Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Loved him in college. Loved his versatility, and I thought it would translate nicely to the NBA. Took him a minute to find his rhythm, but he's got great length, which makes him versatile defensively, and he can play with just about anybody because he's got good all-around offensive skills.
Here's Alexander Walker. Whitmore defending. Here's Reed. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. When Naz Reid is out there, Clark, spacing the floor is a real asset for him.
For sure, and you know, he really puts a lot of pressure on the defense because he can score from anywhere on the floor, and he's got great size and strength. And he does the little things, too. I mean, you look at his points and rebounds, but this guy gets deflections. He goes after loose balls. He gets you extra possessions on the glass. He steps in and takes charge. I mean, he does all the little and big things.
And Cam Whitmore picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Shannon. Hit by Reed. That's good by Shannon. Shannon's got 6.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
2 minutes remaining.
Whitmore with it. He's against Reed. Now Whitmore. 6 points for him.
Oh, man, when Cam Whitmore throws it down, you feel bad for the rim.
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Pick by Reed. Pass to Shannon. At the top of the key, Reed. And the foul on Jayshawn Tate. That's his first foul.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
Here's Alexander Walker. No scoring in this one. 5 on the clock. Good on the bucket.
And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
No question about it. I mean, these teams are really battling hard now.
Here's Whitmore. Right wing. Smith on the wing. Pass to Landale. Green left side. Smith against Reed. Reed with the rebound.
Tell you what, that is a missed opportunity from mid-range for sure. With as little defense as was shown, should have made that one.
A three-pointer is right on target. Reed's got the lead up to 2 now for Minnesota.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
Whitmore finds Smith, and it's slammed in by Smith.
And guys, we're going to see a lot of that from this young man. Smith right now, beastie.
Here's Alexander Walker. Whitmore defending. Nifty move. Back to Reed. This one for 3. And another 3 for Minnesota.
For 3.
15 seconds left to play here in the third. Here's Whitmore, defended by Alexander Walker. There's the screen. 4 seconds left. And Whitmore throws it down.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look.
Naz Reid has been on display for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the 4th. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Randle out there with Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at point guard.
Really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. Pass to Randle. Back to Edwards. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Gobert. Tries again. Out to Edwards. And that one off the back of the rim and in. 6 points for Anthony Edwards.
Well, Edwards looking almost automatic there. Didn't wait too long to put that shot up.
Outside, Green. Thompson outside. Houston moving it around. Back to Brooks for 3. Hits it from three-point range. Brooks has got it all tied up now for the Rockets.
Oh, spacing the floor. Brooks is comfortable shooting it from deep.
Green against DiVincenzo. Out to Edwards. Over Thompson. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Really like what Edwards did there. Assertive in the two-man game.
Easton passes to Green. Now, here's Şengün. Pass to Green. Easton with a screen for Green. Houston needs to get a shot. Shot by Easton, no good. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. DiVincenzo against Green. Now here's DiVincenzo. Not a lot of room. Misses in close.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Well, you know, for me, when you can convert this many times in the paint, I think that's a sign that your offense is really in a healthy state.
And the other thing that stands out is just how well they have moved the ball. Everyone's touching it and having a chance to create.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Reid comes in for Gobert. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for Dante DiVincenzo. Edwards against Green. Pass to Şengün. Over to the wing. Here's Easton. Another miss by Houston.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Reid with a screen on Green. Here's Edwards. Strong move inside by Edwards.
At every level, Edwards has been the go-to guy for his team. It's in his DNA.
Şengün with a screen on McDaniel. Thompson misses. Minnesota leading by 4. Here's Edwards.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My goodness.
Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game.
Guys, it's going to be a long time before we see another one just like that.
They get the rebound. Easton passes to Şengün. And it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Cam Whitmore, he's checked in for Green. 4th quarter of play and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. On the wing, Thompson. McDaniels defending. Shot clock at 3, and the foul on Tari Eason. That's his first foul.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest.
Minnesota in the lead. 1:07 left in the fourth. Reed with a screen on Thompson. Edwards trying. Oh, my! Wow!
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're going to start stretching this lead out a little.
And so the coach's challenge here comes into play. The coach protesting the personal foul call.
At the line for your Rockets, Whitmore. Taking 2 shots.
The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to do a challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Gets the first, and that narrows the gap to 7. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Wow, coming through for his team at the line and cutting this down to a very tight game.
Edwards against Thompson. Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation.
Timberwolves ball. At the line for the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
Hey, like a lot of guys, Edwards rides momentum as a player. When his confidence is soaring, so is his activity level.
Gobert, he's checked in for Naz Reid. Randall kicks to McDaniels. Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback diminished.
Thompson with the bucket. 24 seconds left in the game. And Cam Whitmore picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far.
First team foul.
Edwards against Thompson. Oh, the lob to Gobert. No good on the shot. And here we go. Fast break, and Whitmore's got it. Money.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one.
Yeah, to glide in and reverse it home like that, so sweet.
And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here.
Let's check out Minnesota's starting lineup. And it's at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. And for the Grizzlies, manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Payne. G.G. Jackson is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5, roaming the paint.
I love that Rudy left no doubt. Show off that power, Rudy.
All right, Doris, how about teams like these who can really run their offense through their bigs?
BA, over the years, one of the things I've heard from coaches quite often is how effective a 3-tool big man can be. When you can drive it, pass it, shoot it, score it, do all the things they can, it changes the geometry of the floor.
And so it's Minnesota with it. The Grizzlies making their last shot. Edwards against Morant. Back to Gobert. And the Grizzlies pushing it up now. And the dunk by Jackson.
Yeah, you have to admire the size and strength of Jackson Jr. Just fantastic work establishing himself inside and slamming it down.
Now here's DiVincenzo. It's Edwards on the wing. This one for 3. DiVincenzo can't hit. Gobert against Jackson. Pass to Morant. Jackson with a screen on McDaniels. Poke loose. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. To the paint. Here's Randle. Drops in the layup for 2.
Guard him big, guard him small. Julius Randle is so crafty on the interior, it matters not. He's going to finish.
And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Here's Edwards. After the basket by Memphis on the other end. Drives to the hoop. Soft touch off the glass.
Boy, the quickness off the dribble drive by Anthony Edwards. Being able to put it on the deck, so important.
Here's Morant. Jackson with a screen on McDaniels. Right side Morant. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Up top Jackson. The 3 is up. Minnesota with a rebound. And now the T-Wolves on the break.
Great teamwork on that drive. Punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Morant against McDaniels. Pass to Jackson. From the arc. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
For Minnesota, they've gone 4 of 5 so far. Looking sharp. Edwards a screen on Payne. DiVincenzo. No good with a layup.
That's a rarity for him, especially against the soft defense.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with the head coach of the Grizzlies. He was emphatic, saying that Edwards was their main concern, telling me Anthony poses problems on both sides of the ball, and he is relentless. He doesn't let up. He wants his guys to match Edwards' energy.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, Julius Randle, we know this, loves to finish despite being fouled. This guy will play through contact, no problem.
And Randle, no good on that one. You know, part of what makes Julius Randle so effective is that spin move, Doris.
He does like to use that on the interior against taller players to get enough separation. But the number of finishing moves that guy has off the spin, it is really an effective tool.
Now here's Jackson. Pass to Morant. Clock at 6. There's the drive. Oh, there's Morant with the slam.
And the bounce that Morant possesses is unlike anyone else at his position.
Jackson against Edwards. Ooh, excellent D there from Jackson.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
Here's Payne. Outside for Morant. Bain with a screen on McDaniels. The drive by Morant. Rebound Minnesota. Edwards looking for an opening. Here's Randall. Outside McDaniels. Hits the trifecta. Well, plenty of give and take so far.
Yeah, 6 lead changes already. Both teams came to play.
Outside Bain. It could go. No good. Would have counted had it gone. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Timberwolves ahead, leading by just 2. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. Let's get a quick check of the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
So far, they've had a lot of success off fast break plays, and they'll probably continue to push the tempo as much as possible.
They've also done a really good job taking advantage of miscues. Their defense has been stifling in this one.
Manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Bain. Jaren Jackson out there with Jackson, and it's Edey in at the center position. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. And both free throws good for McDaniels. Doris, you look at the tools McDaniels has on defense. He can be special.
He can. There's incredible length, the reach, the strength. McDaniels very much able to be a shutdown defender against the best offensive players in the game.
Morant against Edwards. Jackson with a screen on Edwards. Morant, no good. The Timberwolves lead by 4. Edwards with a step. And Edwards slams it in.
Oh, give me a little sauce, Anthony Edwards. Rise high and finish over the defender.
Jackson against Randall. Outside Bain. Counted. Bain's got his first basket of the night.
Well, there's some unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
Here's DiVincenzo. The kick out to Edwards. Shakes him. Edwards rises up and powers it down.
Oh, guys, the agility, the hops, everything about Anthony Edwards, so good athletically.
Bain, the pass to Jackson. Jackson, left side. DiVincenzo against Jackson. Jackson with a screen on Randall. And Paul will be against Jaren Jackson. That's foul number 2 for him.
And just a great job of getting there first and absorbing the contact.
Quarter 2 and about 2 minutes in. Minnesota leading by 6. And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, BA. Not sure what got into him. I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Here's DiVincenzo. Bain against Edwards. Pass to McDaniels. Stolen by Bain. All right, Doris, you think this heliocentric style of play can lead to championship success?
Brian, this is such a big-time question, and I think a difficult one to answer. By heliocentric, we mean that the best player on your team is making up a greater percentage of the usage, meaning the ball is in their hands more. What that has led to are some of the most efficient offenses in the history of the game. But does it lead to championships? That is the answer to the question we all seek.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Well, the Timberwolves, no doubt, a team to be reckoned with. Coach Chris Finch said, we come in every single night and compete. No matter what the circumstances are, we expect to win. We root for each other, so I feel like we have all the makings of a tough team.
And they have reason to be confident, Allie. Thank you. To the wing on the left. Here's Edey, and he jams it home with authority.
Not just an aggressive scorer, Morant is also a fantastic distributor.
The Timberwolves lead by 5. Edwards with it. He's picked up by Bain. Pass to DiVincenzo. Edwards against Bain. From downtown, Edwards making it look so easy from deep.
Well, the work that Anthony Edwards is putting in as a shooter is there. That range shot so important. Nice three-point look right there.
Morant looking for an opening. Six to shoot. Jackson, the screen, lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by Minnesota. Randall's got 4 rebounds in the game. And one thing that Morant has always been a lead at, finding a seam in a defense and getting to the rim, Grant.
Yeah, any crack allows him to get inside. And as good as anyone at splitting a double, which he sees a lot of. So once inside, he can finish with authority or kick it out to a shooter. Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
To the inside, knocks it loose. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. And now the T-Wolves on the break. And it's Randall with the jam.
Well, if the basket is within reach, Julius Randle understands how to finish.
Outside Morant. Jackson with a screen on McDaniels. Morant fights through contact inside.
Because of his ability to elevate and make adjustments in air, Morant has no trouble scoring inside.
Randall with it. Jackson in his pocket. McDaniels from long range. Here's Gobert. Goes back up. The rebound by Edey. Grizzlies trail by 8.
If they take their time, this will be the final possession of the quarter.
Well, it's amazing. If you finish quarters the right way, it can have such a great impact on the outcome of a game.
For 3, Randall. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. And so it's Minnesota finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. What has them in front right now, by and large, they're taking great shots. We'll be right back after this word. Well, for those just tuning in, thanks for being with us. Second half of this game still to play. Boy, you got to like what we're seeing from Anthony Edwards.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far, unstoppable.
Kicking off the second half, here's Chris Finch's 5. We've got Naz Reid. Miller is out there with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Minot in at the 3.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now. Grizzlies trail by 7. Kennard with it. The 3 is up. Gets the 3 ball to go. Kennard's got 6 here in the quarter.
And Luke Kennard showing the handle in the pick and roll game. It's going to be so difficult to cover him with that aspect.
Outside Reid. Here's Shannon. Lets the 3 fly. Huff pulls it in. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. And it's Kennard on the take. Out left to the wing. Here's Huff. Still without a bucket. Here's Clark. Second chance effort. Reid with the rebound. The Timberwolves lead by 4. Here's Shannon. Knocks down the triple.
Listen, this guy is not the most dangerous threat from there, but you have got to honor the shooting a little bit.
Now Kennard. 6 points for him. Inside. Clark, the pass to Williams. Back to Clark. Stolen by Miller. And now the T-Wolves on the break. Here's Minot. And he gets the bucket. And now a 9-point Minnesota lead.
You know, you have to recognize the chance to push it, and they did. Great pass to get the ball behind the defense and an easy 2 points on the board.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Where was else the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets. Well, you get exactly what you want right there. Clean look right at the cup. Nicely done.
Now here's Kennard, covered by Alexander Walker. And here's Kennard. Give him 8, and he drops it in from the low post.
You know, he's been giving them points, but they still can't seem to get over the hump tonight.
Here's Shannon. Miller outside.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Pass to Shannon. Reed sets a screen. Second shot opportunity, and Shannon gets it to go. Shannon's got 9 points.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Now here's Kennard. Defense is right there. Minute 32 left in the third quarter. Memphis needs to get off a shot. Off. Good.
Well, you have to understand what the defense is doing. If they give you an opportunity to set up a teammate, Luke Kennard will take it.
Here's Shannon. And the layup falls. He's got 11.
When you use it right, the pump fake's as effective a move as there is.
Grizzlies trail by 8. There's 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Kennard outside. Ooh, he's locked in. Drains his 5th shot in as many attempts.
Yeah, Luke Kennard is a complete offensive player, and he's starting to percolate a little bit. Defense has got to be concerned.
And Shannon gets it to go. And the Timberwolves lead by 8. The Grizzlies have gotten 6 of 8 shots to go and looking good since the break. Here's Kennard. Pass to Wells. Driving inside. Back to Kennard. Down low. Here's Clark. Tipped. The Timberwolves lead by 8. Here's Alexander Walker. Knocks down the long J. Alexander Walker's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Kennard. It's tipped. Got a piece of it. Up in time. And so it's Minnesota closing out the quarter ahead by 11 points. They've been aggressive in transition. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Well, making the game easy for your teammates. All about putting them in.
Oh! Get you some! Show us some power. Can you say immediate entry into the highlight reel? Woo! What a tuck, BA.
It's showtime now, man. They've built up a lead, and they're starting to rub it in. And it's Kennard on the take. Good.
What assertive play by Luke Kennard in the painted area doing work.
The Timberwolves lead by 11. Kennard on the double team. To the middle. Miller, the pass to Reed. Here's Minot. Pass to Shannon. Just 5 to shoot. The Timberwolves need to get off a shot here. Reed in the post. Clark covers. Back to Reed. Here's Shannon. Defended by Kennard. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. So Memphis ends up going with a new group.
Substitution on the court.
Grizzlies trail by 11. Outside Morant. We've gone about a minute and a half into this fourth quarter. It's picked off. Edie. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
It's Edwards on the wing, pounded by Morant. Offensive rebound. Randall finds Edwards. Goes back up. He takes it in. Edwards coming through.
Well, in pick and roll action, Anthony Edwards is thinking score first. Good decision right there.
Here's Morant. Pass to Edey. Now Jackson on the wing. Bain to the paint. Oh, a nice one-handed slam right there.
The one-hand dunk just looks so fluid.
Yeah, absolutely. Even smooth when he's powering it home like that. DiVincenzo driving. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Are you serious? That is some power from the point guard.
Oh, I love backcourt players with some ups.
We know versatility is huge in this game. Just a tremendous job finishing that play. Wow.
Pass to Edey. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
His third personal foul. First team foul.
Outside Bain. Driving in. And it's good. 2 points.
This has been the story of the game. A battle fought on offense.
And it is a major disadvantage down the stretch if you can't guard. This may just come down to who has the ball last.
Morant against Edwards. And stolen by Morant. And up the court come the Grizzlies on the break. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And I like when Morant is this active on defense because he's capable of coming away with steals.
Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Gobert. Outside Edwards. The three is up. Morant grabs the miss.
That's his shot. And one, I'm sure, he wants back.
Jackson, pass to Bain. Randall with a steal. Fast break, Minnesota. Back to DiVincenzo. Edwards against Morant. Now here's Edwards. Shot clock at 6. Getting it done inside. Edwards.
Well, Anthony Edwards with that frame on the interior, such a tough check.
And it's Jackson on the take. And the dunk by Jackson.
And you love to see the aggressiveness, using the height advantage to hammer it home. Every moment counts here. They have got to get moving.
This is the very definition of desperation time. You've got to score every trip.
It's clear Jackson Jr. embraces the spotlight. He's a solid scorer who makes important shots for this team.
We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Morant against Edwards. Here's McDaniels. It's rebounded by Memphis.
And looking for a quick bucket here.
You've got to run a play that's a quick strike. You've got to immediately foul after that.
They set the pick. Jackson, pass to Bain. DiVincenzo with a steal. And count it. So we see the Timberwolves get the win here. Just a gutsy performance on the road.
It really was. When this one was up.
But eventually, I'll get there.
I'm a tiger on the loose, I'm a menace in the booth, I'm the medicine you're afraid to take. I'm the gasoline and nut and the devil in your gut that you're fighting just to keep it baked. Kinda like the view with the dice in the mid, top down with the rims and gold. So baby, pour me a drink, I'm gonna let out the freak beat back.
Basketball. And the Houston Rockets starting five. We've got Alperen Şengün. Tari Eason is out there with Brooks. And it's Green, and it's Thompson in at the shooting guard position. And for the Grizzlies, Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Edey out there with Jackson, and it's Jackson in at the small forward. RJ, this could be a battle won in the trenches. Each team with a formidable front court.
Yeah, both these teams are loaded with a lot of skill down low. Kind of old school. Should be a physical contest.
Green, no luck.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
The three from Morant. Bangs home the trifecta. Morant's got 5 points so far.
If Morant knocks those down consistently, you got zero chance on defense.
Green kicks to Şengün. Back to Green. It's up a three. Out to Brooks. Jacks up a three. That's in. Coming off the assist from Thompson.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Morant. He has 5. Hit the teardrop. Thompson with the rebound. For Houston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Şengün with a wide open look. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
And good to get him going early. That shot should give him some confidence.
It makes a difference for them if he can establish his three-point shot as a weapon.
And Alperen Şengün continues to prove himself, RJ, as one of the game's most promising big men.
Oh, a lot of it is because of his passing ability, Kevin. Shades of Nikola Jokic out there. Having a big man who can distribute like Şengün is a real luxury. He can get it done off the dribble or off the catch. Green is just a flat-out shooter.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. I was able to talk with the head coach of the Grizzlies for just a minute. He told me that Şengün won't be easy to contain. He pointed to his passing ability and said they can run their offense through him whether he's in the post or at the top of the key. He added his scoring, and he presents a unique challenge. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Şengün with the screen for Green. And he drives in. Edey with the rebound. Here's Morant. And finished off by Morant.
Oh, he's got some hop. Morant, this man loves to attack the rim whenever he gets the chance. And when I mean any chance, I mean any chance.
Now here's Green. Pass to Şengün. Jackson against Brooks. Shot clock at 6. And he dunks it down.
And you like to see this from Brooks, right? No need to fall in love with the jump shot. Give the defense different looks.
Morant against Thompson. Now here's Morant. D right on him. Jackson finds Morant. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Edey can't hit.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Eason, a screen on Bane. Takes a 3. Shot by Eason, no good. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Jackson. There's the drive. Morant outside. Pass to Jackson. And stolen by Thompson. And here we go. Thompson heading to the hoop. And Desmond Bane pulls it down. Memphis trailing here. Here's Morant. Finishing with force. Whoa!
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, John turning it loose. Someone throw that man some water.
And the wide open shot from Green. Connects from three-point range. Green's got 6 points.
I know what they say, defense wins championships, but you need some bucket getters too now.
And a wide open look for Bane. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And Thompson slams it home.
Rocketing off the deck. Thompson showing that youthful exuberance.
Morant with it. He's got 9. Takes it inside.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
The Grizzlies shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
And we talk a lot about Morant's athleticism and skill, but what stands out for me is his effort and intensity that he plays with.
Thompson, a screen on Morant. Green. And Green slams it in.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Here's Morant. And that one released in time, but no good. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Rockets?
Well, so far, their long-range shooting has been the story, doing damage from deep.
And it seems they've also put an emphasis on moving the ball, working to rotate around the defense and find those quality looks.
Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. G.G. Jackson is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group from Memphis to kick off the second quarter.
Oh, Morant sinks the answer with authority. He's feeling the competitive fire after that last trade.
Stolen by Jackson. Morant outside. And Morant throws it down.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
That's the last thing you need to happen down the stretch. Let's see how they respond to the devastating punch.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the 3 in transition.
Oh, wow!
That is powerful. If that doesn't belong in the dunk contest, then I don't know what. That is an impressive finish there by Green.
Bane sets the screen for Morant. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight. A hot 8 for 11 shooting so far.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Green, the pass to Eason. Back to Green. From deep. Eason's shot is good.
A sometimes underrated playmaker, Green showing good patience and vision.
Thompson against Morant. Bane with the screen on Thompson. A kick out to Bane. Clock at 6. Floats it up there for Morant. It's stolen by Green. Brooks right side. Good. Great play by Green to set it up. And now a 6-point Rocket lead. Morant against Thompson. Here's Jackson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And you see the unselfishness from Morant, wanting to share that ball with any open teammate.
And so Green will bring it up for the Houston Rockets. And while we've got a moment, with authority.
That is a monster finish.
Oh.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. Jackson, a screen on Brooks. Morant kicks to Jackson. And the 3 off target. Rockets leading by 6. On the wing, Thompson. From outside, off the mark.
Yeah, that's a shame because I'm not sure the defense will let him get a shot that good again very soon.
Houston's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Pass to Şengün. Count that one. Şengün's got 5 points in the quarter.
No issues on that one. Good work all around.
GA, if you look back at the Rockets' history, so many all-time greats have spent time there.
Yeah, it's an impressive list, right? Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Calvin Murphy, and Harden. Houston's well represented in the Hall of Fame.
And G.G. Jackson is going to pick up the foul.
First personal foul.
That's his first foul. There's 57 seconds left to play in the first half. Pass to Şengün from outside the arc. No good that time. The Grizzlies trail by 8. Payne for 3. And again, Memphis no good. Houston's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. You talk about reputations, RJ. You have one like Dylan Brooks.
I'll give it to this man. He is fearless. He doesn't care if it's Steph, LeBron, his mom, whoever. Dylan is trying to get in their heads. You want guys like that on your side.
Payne against Brooks. Outside, Payne. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Jackson. And shot on the way. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Green inside. Guarded by Morant. Thompson inside the line. Another miss by Houston. And so it's the Houston Rockets in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And we've got more on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Guys, Ja Morant has been sensational.
Yeah, he's just been raining down on him from deep here. Talk about dialed in.
If I'm his teammate, I keep feeding the hot hand, especially since he's been on fire from deep also.
So on the floor for Houston. Smith is out there with Green. Then there's Jayshawn Tate. Then there's Whitmore. And it's Landale in at the 5. Kennard against Tate. Now, here's Kennard. Makes it off the glass. And eventually, every player, GA, has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or 2 against the young fellas. And sometimes, that is a very slow realization.
Oh, it is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
They set the pick. Smith wide open. He fires. Great look there, but off target. Williams passes to Clark. The kick out to Williams. Pass to Huff. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Houston leading by 8. Now Tate hasn't made one yet. Landale pass to Tate. Lets it go from deep. It doesn't go for him. And for Memphis, their shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? And here is Wells. Kennard on the wing. Whitmore defending. Clock is at 3. He takes it in. The shot's good from Kennard. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Whitmore up top. From past the arc. They get it back. Landale pass to Green. Tate against Kennard. From downtown. Tate, no good. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Kennard. Banked in off the glass. Kennard's got 6 here in this quarter.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
And a wide open look for Whitmore. Buries the long-range jumper. And the Rockets lead by 7.
This is why you always have to chase guys off the arc, because everyone has a three-point shot.
And the foul on Jason Tate. That's his first foul. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. There's the pick. And Kennard wide open. He shoots. A second chance effort.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
And that's his MO. Be physical, get in position for the putback, and throw it down. The defense got to know that's what he's looking to do.
They get it again. Landale. And the wide open shot from Green. Drains the three-pointer. Green's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Tate against Kennard. 1:21 left to play in the third. Good. Kennard's got 8.
Breakdown for the defenders, and you can't ask for an easier bucket than that.
A shot by Tate with no one around. It's hauled in by Huff. One-on-one fast break. Kennard on the wing. Tate covering. Kennard against Smith. 6 on the shot clock. Kennard kicks to Williams. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Kennard.
And that's why you don't let them get positioned deep in the post.
And they need better team defense. How about your man in the post? It takes multiple guys to stop him.
First personal foul. First team foul.
There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. They set the screen. Here's Smith. And it's Smith finishing it off.
And guys, we're going to see a lot of that from this young man. Smith right now beasting.
Tate against Kennard. There's 18 seconds left in the third. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Huff. Fires from deep. It's rebounded by Houston. They've led by as much as 10. The 17-footer. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Houston with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the... And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Morant is the point with Bain out on the wing. Jackson is out there with Edey. And it's Jackson at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
The agility, the athleticism. Morant sometimes, I don't know, he just seems unstoppable to me.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
The name of the game in the modern NBA is making threes. Spacing the court, and that's exactly what they are doing tonight.
And also, they took advantage of their quickness, got inside and blew through the open lanes. Great job of attacking the paint.
Morant against Thompson. Morant passes to Jackson. It's rebounded by Şengün.
They say it's a make-or-miss league, and there are some times that you miss.
Şengün with the screen for Thompson. A floater to the wing right side. Here's Şengün. And Şengün throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
Jump ball is called number 4.
And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Puts the move on. And the layup, good by Şengün. Şengün's got the lead up to 10 now for the Rockets. Bane looking around. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Jackson dishes to Jackson. They grab their own miss. Out to Morant. There's a good screen. Drives to the hoop. Oh, he just jams it right over Şengün. Wow!
You gotta love how aggressive Morant is. He is fearless going towards that rim.
Here's Green. That's good again. His 7th basket, 7 for 10 from the floor.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
This is what you expect from him, just coming alive and dominating in effortless fashion here in the fourth.
Morant drives in, and Morant throws it down.
And this is what John Morant does best. When he finds his rhythm on offense, he is almost impossible to guard.
Outside, Green. The Grizzlies pull it in. Edey's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Right side, Jackson. Morant outside. And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Green. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
On the wing, Bane. Brooks covering. Pass to Edey. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Rockets ball.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Brooks kicks to Green.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
It's rebounded by Memphis. Outside Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
We talk about Jackson's elite shooting for a big, but this is the other thing that he can do when his mindset is to attack.
Eason, a screen on Morant. Green taking his time here. Fires away from way outside. Another miss by Houston.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Thompson against Jackson. In the corner, it's Bane. There's the triple. Green with the rebound. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Morant. That's foul number 2 for him. 1:11 left to play here in the fourth. Here's Green, stolen by Jackson.
And before he had time to bring the ball back in off the pump fake, out, and they're off.
Outside Jackson. Jackson is doubled. 6 to shoot. Pass to Edey. Here's Bane. It's Morant in the corner. Second chance shot. It counts. And now they trail by just 4.
And this is where Morant really shines. The bigger the moment, the more he wants to capitalize.
Out to Thompson, trying to end the drought. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
Pass to Brooks. Trying to find Şengün. He gets it to him. Back to Brooks. Wide open. And that one drops. So Houston wins it. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they...
State.